On this week's episode of Untitled Movie Podcast, we're talking about Beetlejuice. We're going to talk about Tim Burton's home life. We're going to talk about Gina Davis's clothing choices. And we're going to spend way too much time talking about Glenn Shaddix because Craig loves Glenn Shaddix. Also, as always, technical difficulties. And ScOctober concludes.
From the director of Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Adam and Barbara are
ghosts.
What's the good of being a ghost if you can't frighten people away?
Their house is being haunted by the living.
Maybe the house could use a little remodeling.
And they can't scare them into leaving.
They're dead. It's a little late to be neurotic.
So they're calling on Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice!
Who's no ordinary ghost.
You don't want his help.
Can you be scary?
What do you think of this?
Now, the party's over.
You want somebody out of the house? I want to get somebody out of your house.
But the fun has just begun.
It's showtime. Learn to throw your voice, fool your friends, fun and party. Not bad.
This is amazing.
Want a cigarette?
Oh, no, thank you.
Oh, yeah, here I come, baby.
He's guaranteed to put some life
Attention, keyword shoppers.
in your afterlife. Michael Keaton is Beetlejuice.
I'm the ghost with the most, babe.
Untitled movie podcast. Untitled movie podcast. Untitled movie podcast. Untitled movie podcast.
ScOctober is over, bitches.
It's not over.
What's up?
Not over.
The final chapter.
This is the final. Ron and
The
Craig final nightmare goes to hell. Part
It's
37.
7. Jason X. Wait, I did that wrong. Sorry.
Jason in space?
That was a fucking weird movie.
Did you see that?
Of course I saw that.
I
That was
I don't know. You don't like horror movies, so
I don't like horror movies, but that was during the phase of my life where I thought I liked horror movies, so I tried to
when
watch
we used
some.
to go to the movies and actually see them.
Yeah. That's before I had a child and I became a giant baby. Now these things make me sad.
We like
and I
to
don't
call
watching
you
death.
a mangina.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a man baby Gina thing. Whatever you said. Speaking of Gina Davis. Speaking of Gina Davis, Beetlejuice. That's what we're talking about today.
Speaking of that, we are Ron and Craig.
We are.
Welcome
Welcome to the Untitled Movie Podcast.
with Ron and
With-
Craig.
Accurate. We're finishing up. It's our last show for Scary October, ScOctober, which sounds like a dick joke, but it's strangely not.
ScOctober. Well,
ScOctober.
Craig does love his dick jokes.
I do love a good dick joke. Yeah, here we are talking about Beetlejuice,
Yeah.
a movie I hadn't watched, no joke, when we decided to watch it in I'd say 25 years.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't seen.
I probably watch this once a year.
I had
Probably
I-
not the
like,
whole
I-
thing, but I watch a good chunk of it at least once a year.
like I definitely saw it a few times when I was a kid, but sitting down to watch this time, I completely forgot what I was getting into.
Really?
This movie is fucking bizarre.
Don't tell me you didn't like this movie.
So here's the thing.
This movie is a classic.
I sat down to watch it, fully expecting to have my dreams shattered, because my memory of Beetlejuice is it's foggy. I saw it when I was a kid. There was toys for some reason. There was a cartoon based on what's clearly a
There
movie
was
for
tons
adults.
I had all the toys.
You did. I remember you having. I remember playing with your Beetlejuice toys.
Yeah. I was big into movie toys.
Yeah. Well, they were cool. They were good. They were good
Like
toys.
I had that. I had like all the Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, all the Batmans. Like I was big into that.
I remember the Robin Hood Prince of Thieves toys because I remember the Morgan Freeman action figure having Morgan Freeman's freckles on it.
Yep.
Like some lady in a toy factory in Guatemala had to individually put them freckles on.
Yep. Those were fun toys. Had a giant
Yeah.
like crossbow. That for some reason I looked it up online. I can't remember the toy line that they copied the exact line from and just made it Robin Hood, but they did. Like even with that wooden, like remember I had like their like tree house
Yeah.
set. Like that whole thing was copied from another toy line that failed, so they just repurposed it for Robin Hood.
So they had another Morgan Freeman action figure sitting around?
I
Is that what you're
think
telling
they
me?
just had a black action figure that they just added the freckles.
Black action figure. Gotcha. I like to take my Morgan Freeman action figure and reenact scenes from Shawshank Redemption. But you know, that's just me. Zewataneo. Anyhow, Beetlejuice. That's a movie we watched.
Yeah. Tim Burton's Beetlejuice from released March 30th, 1988.
Oof, that is older than my wife. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
How'd it do? I mean, I know the answer. I'm just asking for the sake of the show.
No, I don't want to tell you. It was a budget of $15 million and it made about $73 million in the U.S.
Really? So it did well because
well, it's a Tim Burton movie. It did well.
Yeah, that was honestly that was my biggest shock researching this movie was that Tim Burton apparently fucking prints money.
He does.
Like his only movie that didn't make its budget back was Ed Wood.
And it was still a good movie.
Yeah, and I'm sure over the years, through video sales and all, because it became a pretty, kind of a cult classic. I'm sure, just like Ed Wood movies, I'm sure it made its money back eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tim Burton's I always joke with you about Garth Brooks sells 10 million records and I don't know a single person who buys them. I don't know anyone who gets real hyped for Tim Burton movies, but apparently someone does because they all make money.
No, there's a very big following.
Yeah, and I mean he's got his go-to players. He likes him some Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp is actually the godfather to his son.
Little known fact: Johnny Depp played a chair that Glenn Shattuck sits on in Beetlejuice.
What?
Yeah, he plays the chair in the scene where they all sing Deo. That's Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp is the chair.
He's sitting on him?
Yeah, he played a chair. He was that talented an actor in the late 80s that he was able to method himself into being a chair.
Oh, I see what you're doing here.
Yes. However,
I see. I was getting all excited thinking he really was a chair. You're doing a little play on his method acting.
Yeah, the only problem the only problem he ran into was he kept wearing all his bracelets as the chair, and people were like, no chair would have that many accessories, Johnny Depp. Why are you wearing that big floppy hat? Also, Helena Bonham Carter, not in this movie either, but she likes Tim Burton. They do a lot of stuff together.
Well, they're engaged.
Still?
I believe so. They
live
in a house two adjoined houses that have like a crossway or like a midway point connecting them.
Like a common area? Like they live in a fucking
dorm? Like a big hallway that they can connect to.
Is the house shaped like a candy cane or some weird Tim Burton shit?
Probably. Who knows?
In my mind, I know he doesn't, but in my mind, I like to think that Tim Burton has a super weird, high-pitched voice, and he's like Tiny Tim, because they kind of look alike. And he's just like, Helena, meet me on the other end of the peppermint stick. Whoa! And she's like, fuck, what did I get myself into? Every day.
Come meet me and Mr. Elfman by the carriage house.
It's going to be great.
Because Danny Elfman lives in the carriage house.
Oh, Danny Elfman definitely lives on that property. Even though he's loaded, he's like the Kato to Tim Burton's OJ, but without all the stabbing and horrible.
And there's a dead man's body somewhere because it's his party.
Oh, definitely. Oh, it's always leave your body at the door. That's where it is. Remember that dance that lady did? Have we talked about this on the show yet?
In Back to School?
Yeah, when she walks in the party, I feel like I've brought that up at least once.
I think we've discussed this, but continue because any new listeners.
Yeah, there's a scene in Back to School starring Rodney Dangerfield where Oingo Boingo is playing live, and his love interest, who's a 50-year-old woman, walks into this college party and starts doing the most awkward 80s old mom dance ever. And to this day, I feel awkward. I feel bad for her. I'm like, what are you? A, what are you doing there? B, why do you think it's okay to party with these children? You're an adult. And C, she had to suck face with Rodney Dangerfield numerous times. And he ate a very oniony breakfast. He was a very onion bagel and schmear kind of man in his day.
He probably did.
He probably had the cream cheese stuck to the corner of his mouth. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Like that time our social studies teacher in 8th grade had it stuck to his face, and it was there the whole damn day. Oh.
What was his name?
I'm only gonna. I don't want to say his name because I don't want to incriminate anybody.
Say his name. That's fine. Say his name.
It was Mr. Goldstein.
Mr. Goldstein. That's what it is.
I will say this without saying more teachers' names. I've been waiting all week to mention this to you when we were together. Again, not Beetlejuice related at all, but maybe Beetlejuice adjacent. So there's apparently a Facebook group dedicated to our junior high school, which will go unnamed.
Yeah.
For people like went there. Everybody's like, oh, I went to this high.
Yeah, I'm a member of it.
Yeah. I think you're a member of it. I don't think I'm a member of it. Maybe I am because you made me, because you control my social media presence more than I do.
Well, because you don't like to promote our own podcast, so you don't want to get listeners.
I don't.
You're
like
happy
talking to
with
people
our 0 listeners.
Yes, I prefer to not talk to people on social media. I rather have a show that no one pays attention
I don't want
to,
to, be pushy and say, hey, listen to this great show that I created and I want people to listen to, but I don't want to make you listen to it. So I'm just not going to tell anyone it's out there.
I'm going to say 2 things. 1, sterling impression of me. 2, go fuck yourself. 3, there's a 3rd thing I'm adding now. Yeah, I agree. I hate social media. And you said the show was great. Not true. Anyway, great's a strong word. Anyway, so
continue.
On this group, people ask weird questions like, hey, do you remember insert teacher's name? Which is just like a weird thing to want to associate with anyway. Like, I don't really get that fully. Like, what's someone going to be like, yeah, they had pants. Like, I don't know. But there's a gentleman who's apparently going around, because I looked at this yesterday.
Who had lunch with a certain social studies teacher that I had in 7th grade?
Yes, but he's also had lunch with other teachers, and he posts the photos as if he's meeting legitimate celebrities, or as if he's some sort of serial killer.
Oh, he also met our
English
favorite
teacher.
English teacher, Mr. Babstock.
Yes. Oh, now you've said his name on the air. Thanks for that, Ron.
Mr. Babstock. You should listen to it. You'll enjoy it.
So
you're partly the reason we created this show.
So yeah, that guy was an awesome teacher. So that's cool, and I have no problem with going to lunch with these people. They're great. They're great guys. I had lunch with that dude once.
We went to a
nice
baseball
guy.
game with Mr. Babstock.
Yeah, great dude. Here's my issue. Why are you weirdly posting selfies with them? As if you're collecting fucking Pokemans. What kind of weird shit is that?
Because
like, oh, here I am.
He wants everyone to be jealous. Like, look, I'm still friends with the teacher. Like, I'm surprised I'm surprised. I'll say it. He went to lunch with Mr. Meltzer.
Yeah, those guys
wanted to have lunch with him.
Yeah,
that's the thing that I want. Like the Mr. Babstock one, it looks like he ran into him.
Yes,
and took a picture and
forcefully.
Yes.
Forcefully.
But hey, to each his own. They were good teachers. I like both of them.
Okay, again, I am in no way shitting on the concept of having lunch with a former teacher. They're lovely people. My point is, these men are retired. They're trying to enjoy their lives. They don't want to fucking hang out with you, dude. And if they do, they definitely don't want you posting their pictures on the damn internet. Like you're like you're some kind of like you're some sort of bone collector.
He's stealing their souls.
I don't understand what's happening here.
He's stealing their souls.
So anyhow, we broke our record 12 minutes in. We've yet to really talk about this movie at all.
No, I think we've gone further than that.
So the Beetlejuices.
All right. So, yeah, it's directed by Tim Burton, and as I said, he had an adjoining house with Helen Bonham Carter, his fiancée. I also got some other trivia on him. One of the things which I found very interesting: he's afraid of chimpanzees.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
It says on the trivia that I looked up, he has a phobia of chimpanzees.
Does this extend to all apes or just chimpanzees?
I believe just chimpanzees.
Does he not seem like the type of guy who, to go back to my Tim Burton impression, says, Helena, make sure there's no chimpanzees outside.
Oh my God, I think the chimpanzees are coming.
Oh no. So, but he fucking made Planet of the Apes. What was he? Was he his fucking hide? Would he hide in his fucking trailer?
They were all CGI, so he was fine with it. He wouldn't do the movie until they created CGI, so he wouldn't have to see an ape. He just saw everybody in friggin' what was it? Tim Roth and friggin'
Michael. I think it was Michael Clark Duncan, wasn't it?
Both of them maybe.
And Helena Bonham Carter.
In like green suits with dots on them. So that's
so you're telling me this man who's terrified of chimpanzees is dressing his fiance up like an ape.
Yes. He was trying to get over his fear.
I bet you his parties are super fucking weird.
They're dead man's parties.
They are.
Continue.
I'm just amazed. I'm amazed that that's the first fact we have about this movie is that Tim Burton's afraid of chimps. I mean, keep going. Let's just rock it, man.
Another one is he has a lifelong ban from Comic-Con events after releasing Batman.
Because a chimp was there and he flipped out?
Apparently, people are against his version of Batman, which I thought was a great version. I guess like true comic book people are against him.
I mean, it is what it is. It doesn't really age very well. I'll tell you what, though. Speaking of Batman, at one point, fucking Beetlejuice. We've decided to stop completely summarizing these movies too much. Yeah,
we'll summarize it.
Whatever. They die. The
people
Winona
die.
Ryder moves in.
They become ghosts.
Bunch of hipsters want to live in their house. They want them gone. They hire Beetlejuice. He's scary. Hijinks ensue. Beetlejuice goes too far. Beetlejuice gets eaten by a snake. Everyone's happy. Dance with ghosts.
Hold on.
Cool.
And in the whole 90-minute movie, I think Beetlejuice is in it for like 20 minutes, 19 minutes.
I think it's like 17 and a half or some shit like that. Yeah. Michael Keaton, who played Beetlejuice, this is his favorite role he's ever done. Was only on set for 2 weeks.
Yep.
So yeah, what was I even saying now?
We're talking about Tim Burton being banned from Comic-Con events.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, speaking of Batman, so he made Batman. No one likes it. At one point, Beetlejuice almost does the same dance the Joker does when he's doing his weird Joker dance. And I don't know if that was a stage direction thing, because they said that Michael Keaton ad-libbed a lot of stuff. But just Tim Burton. That's my answer. Is just Tim Burton. I don't understand what was even happening with him in the early 90s or ever. I'm dumbfounded by all that is Tim Burton. That's like, I didn't dislike this movie. I liked it more than I thought I did. The last half hour kind of was a mess, and nothing really happens. But I was like weirdly enjoying it. Like I kept wanting to watch it. But it's definitely fucking batshit insane on multiple levels.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand how much is supposed to be satire and how much is supposed to be like just actual plot development. I don't really understand why Winona Ryder's 11. I don't know what Otho's doing there. He's some sort of Glenn Shaddock's running around as Otho. He's the damn, I guess he's the interior designer or something that they bring everywhere with them.
See, I think I had a question about Otho. Well, let's before we get into that. Is
your question Otho cuckolding Jeffrey Jones's character with his wife? Because
yes,
because that's extremely valid. Yeah. Also, yeah, apparently ScOctober is also a freaking registered sex offender.
The question was, do you think she bangs Otho?
Oh yeah, the wife. Oh, she's definitely banging. Like I said, there's definitely some sort of cuckold situation going on there. 100%. 100%.
I'm gonna giggle every time you say that word.
This is a man and a woman who are super okay with their daughter's best friends being ghosts, who at one point try to kill them, and she's just, of course, he's letting Otho just do whatever Otho wants to do. And I think Otho, I'll go this far, I'm pretty sure Otho just becomes the freaking other Otho from Demolition Man at some point. Same character. That's it. I'm connecting him. That's where I'm going. He gets cryogenically frozen somehow. He's ahead of the times. He ends up in Demolition Man. He's the benevolent Dr. Cocteau's assistant. Putting it out there.
Associate Bob.
Yeah. Associate Bob. Otho.
Let's run down who's in this movie so people know.
Okay, like I said, Jeffrey Jones.
Jeffrey Jones, the pedophile, registered sex offender.
That made this movie super fucking weird.
Winona Ryder's father, who buys the house after they die. You got Kathleen O'Hara. Catherine O'Hara, the mother from Home Alone, who is...
She's wonderful.
I gotta say, she is wonderful. She plays some shitty-ass mothers, though.
Yeah, she's not a great mom. Not a great mom.
Wonderful actress.
How do you forget your kid?
Twice.
Yeah, and go that far, though. Like, I understand if they drove away a little bit, but, they got to another country. Like, I mean, today's TSA, that wouldn't happen, but that's just, I don't know. She's not doing a great job.
And he was the youngest kid, right?
I know. I think the other one, the one who pees the bed, was little.
No, that wasn't his.
Smaller.
That was his cousin.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah. He was the youngest kid.
Like, you don't forget your youngest kid. Your youngest kid's the one that, like, you it's the baby. Like,
yeah. If she would have forgotten Buzz, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Buzz is a piece of shit.
Oh man, I wish Daniel Stern and Joe Pesci would have friggin' kidnapped Buzz and did that to him.
Fucking Buzz would have gotten murdered. He's fat. He would have gotten stuck in the grates. Anyway.
All right, so we got Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah.
We got Jeffrey Jones. Now 2 stars of the movie, Alec Baldwin.
Yes.
And one that's going to start Craig talking, so I'm going to go skip to Winona Ryder. And then we got Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice.
Yep.
Okay, now the
other
one is...
You forgot Glenn Shaddix.
Glenn Shaddix. No, you mentioned him.
I'm just saying, you will mention him again because he's Glenn Shaddix.
Glenn Shaddix. Otho, and I'll start now by saying he did pass away. I won't do it at the end of the movie. I'll say now.
Yeah, thank you for getting out of the way. Thank you. I'm sure Tim Burton attempted to dance with his corpse or some weird shit at his funeral. God rest his soul.
Probably.
But anyhow.
And then I will go to... We got... All right, I'll say it. We got Gina Davis.
She is impossibly tall.
He was like holding that in since like last night when we talked about this movie for a little bit.
So, how can I put this? There's very few women in this world who I consider to be both good looking and concerning at the same time. Gina Davis is one of them. She's a lovely woman. She's gorgeous. She's got model good looks, great cheekbones, the whole nine. But something about her is a little too physically imposing, but not in like a hey she can fight way, in like a hey she might kill me way.
See, her alone, you don't notice how tall she is, but then when you put like Winona Ryder next to her, she is a giant. I think her shoe size is a size 12.
Is it really?
I heard, yeah.
Jesus Christmas. Yeah, she's a big lady. Which is, I feel like we're definitely going to finally get letters. Again, nothing wrong with being tall. That's awesome. But they just kind of, the way they dress her in this movie is not flattering.
Well, she's not supposed to be flattering. She's supposed to be a country bumpkin.
Would you say she's a bumpkin?
No, I think they're just country folk who are just they're just simple people. They don't like you got Alec Baldwin just wants to play with his mom. He just wants to relax. He's on vacation. She's just happy that her husband's home. You know, she's upset they can't have a kid yet, so she wants to have a kid with him. Like, she's just a normal, typical mom. She's a mom to want to be mom. You know,
a mama bee, wannabe,
a mama bee.
And why does Glenn Shaddix have a high and tight? What's even going on here, Ron?
And let's talk about Dick Cavett.
Is he in the? I'm not even sure Dick Cavett is.
Dick Cavett was her Catherine O'Hara's agent that tells her who basically insults her after the shrimp scene.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, he gave me the finger once. It was part of. I went to go see the Rocky Horror Picture Show years ago on Broadway. He was part of it, and he walked by. I'm guessing it was also part of the thing, but he walked by and gave me the finger.
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say you're such a piece of shit that Dick Cavett broke character to flip you off.
Yeah, no.
That's
and
what I'm
then
gonna say.
Sebastian Bach tried to grind on someone in front of me and looked at me, and it was very scary.
Well, listen, if Sebastian Bach's grinding and staring at you, you lock eye contact and consider yourself lucky.
No. He wasn't grinding on me. It was the row in front of me.
18 in Life is a great fucking song. If the man that wrote that song wants to rub his crotch upon a stranger whilst staring into your soul, Ron,
he is a youth gone wild. That's what I like to say.
You drink that shit in, Ron. You drink it in.
Ricky
so yeah, Gina
was a young boy.
That's a great song.
He had a heart of stone.
So yeah, Gina Davis.
Okay, sorry. Gina Davis.
Dressed like a Quaker for some reason. They took one of the better looking women of the late 80s, early 90s acting scene and dressed her like a Quaker. Alec Baldwin looks like a scruffy headed nerve herder. I'm very confused by what's going on with
scruffy?
I'm very confused by what's going on with the two of them and why he's so into calypso music when he lives in the country.
I think the reason also that they make Gina Davis look like that is to really play into Catherine O'Hara's character, like how city she is, you know, like
That
how
makes sense.
artsy. Like I think without Gina Davis looking like that, and she looks somewhat, I don't want to say normal, you wouldn't have like that two ends of the spectrum, you know?
I can see that. Because I feel like Long Kiss Goodnight Gina Davis would just slap the shit out of this Gina Davis.
What about the Fly Gina Davis?
Fly Gina Davis was a fly Gina Davis, if you know what I'm saying.
Hey-oh!
That's the Gina Davis I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I'm looking. I want to see.
To go back to The Fly for one quick second, Tim Burton wanted to direct The Fly and put Michael Keaton in it, but he dropped out. So continue with Gina Davis.
I'm gonna say I want to see Fly Gina Davis, and I'm gonna say Shadow Alec Baldwin.
Ooh, Shadow Alec Baldwin. Okay.
That's who I want to see on screen. That's what I want to see. Not.
How about
not,
Sweaty Balls Alec Baldwin?
I see. I don't love current Alec Baldwin. He's got too many damn
That's not
opinions.
current
He wants
Alec
to voice.
Baldwin. That's Round the Shadow. That was like
No, it was
94
not.
Alec Baldwin. Sweaty Balls
No,
came out back then. Yeah, Sweaty Balls
it-
SNL came out back then.
No, it did not.
Yes, it did. Look it up.
I'm not looking it up. I
Look
refuse
it
because
up.
you're a dumb
Trust
baby.
me,
You're a
because
dumb baby. I'm
you
not
can
looking it
go
up.
by who was on the show.
Anna Gasteyer was on that show for fucking 80,000 seasons, so you're gonna be wrong.
No.
Play my
no,
music,
no, no,
Ron.
no,
Play
no.
my
No, no.
music, Ron.
Goo, 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 goo. Goo, 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 goo. Goo, 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 goo. Goo, 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 goo. Feel I have to go. Keep going. Goo, 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 goo.
All right, stop talking.
Am I correct?
I will say this.
I'm correct.
That in a YouTube video dated September 17th, 2013, it's referenced as almost 20 years old. So sure, you're basically correct.
Thank you.
I don't enjoy you as a person.
Not many people do.
So yeah, now that I've alienated everybody by talking about Gina Davis's height for 9 hours, it's not that I have a I'll end on this. I perhaps misspoke. It's not that Gina Davis is so tall that bothers me. It's that the way she is presented in this movie bothers me. Does that make sense?
You don't like her attire offends you?
Yeah, like you take a person who's nice looking, and you make them bad looking for a reason. I get it, but to take a person who's nice looking, make them bad looking, but then expect me to still think they are nice looking at that moment is confusing to me.
They're making her look bad looking though. They're making her look like the character she's supposed to play, just a simple woman who just
But why don't her clothes fit? Why
know?
don't her clothes fit? Why don't her clothes fit? Her wedding dress fit when she was dead. Why don't her clothes fit? They're
Why
very
don't
short.
what do you mean her clothes don't fit?
The sleeves are too short. I
believe
don't
that's
like it.
the way the dress is.
I hate you. Anyhow, back to what are we even talking about? Monster
We're talking
Squad?
about
What the fuck are we even
Beetlejuice.
talking? Yeah, sure.
Beetle
This
guys.
movie's
Beetlejuice.
weird. Weird as fuck. This movie.
So we won't summarize the movie, but I'm gonna, since I have some notes. So in the beginning of the movie, before they die, there's a woman who comes around and keeps trying to get them to sell their house.
Oh, she definitely fucking cut the brakes on their car.
That woman is a piece of shit.
Yes.
This woman, played by Annie McEnroe, I think her name is Jane. Jane Butterfield is her name in the movie. She comes to their house, and apparently she does it numerous times, and she's like, we just have an offer on the house. Like, why are you putting people's house up for sale when it's not for sale? And then she's like, this house is too big for you. You know, you need a family should live here. When obviously you could tell Gina Davis wants a kid. Like, how do you, like, that woman's a piece of shit. She, exactly what you said. She murdered them, cut the brakes to get the real estate, to sell it, to win that fee.
Oh, definitely. She's trying to get that sweet commish.
Yeah.
And I ain't talking about Michael Chiklis.
Nope.
She just wants that sweet commission for selling the house. They were only dead for like a month before she sold. Who's even getting the money from their sold home?
That's true. They don't. Maybe like they must have like some kind of relative.
I mean, yeah, they're not. I mean, who knows? Who knows? I don't know who these people are. This movie.
What do you think
confuses me.
Alec Baldwin's character does for a living?
I always guessed architect.
Okay, because the models.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, he has a model of the exact town where he hand makes all of the townhouses and buildings.
Yes.
Which
I'll tell you
plays
this.
a big part in the movie because Beetlejuice supposedly lives there.
Yeah, I don't get like. I just my main issue with this movie. Again, I didn't dislike it, but I'm, advocating the devil, as Ron would say. My main issue is the fact that, like, just stuff kind of happens. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of, like, just random, like, hey, look at Beetlejuice doing Beetlejuice things. Like,
see,
I
kind of like that. That was one of my show notes. Like, the movie kind of, like, picks off going. Like, they don't do so much exposition in the beginning where it's like they don't have to explain the Maitlands, Alec Baldwin, Gina Davis. They don't have to explain them too much. They just say, they don't have kids. They lived in this house. People want to sell it. People are interested in buying it. That's the whole reason for the real estate. So you get like the Dietzes, like they wanted that house from the beginning. There's very little to do with that. It gets it going. Like I like that. It's a 90-minute movie that moves. You don't have to, like, I don't need to know who Beetlejuice is. They have a little blurb about him. He's just a deranged ghost who's horny.
Yeah, I don't
need that. Like, I don't need his whole backstory because all you need him to do is just be, crazed. That's it.
I don't know. I want to know a little bit about Beetlejuice. I want to know what happened. Apparently, Tim Burton said he was like, he had killed himself. I guess there's a line, like almost like a throwaway line at some point where they explain that if you kill yourself in real life, you become like a service person in the afterlife.
I don't think they say that in the movie.
I thought they did.
No, I told you that like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, whatever. Maybe I thought Glenn chatted.
If you look through all the people working in that office, everyone committed suicide. Like their caseworker, Juno, who, yes, dead people have a caseworker, is a social worker, played by Sylvia Sidney. And one of the things I really liked about her character is she slit her throat. And when she's smoking the cigarette, you see the smoke coming out of the slit in her neck. It's pretty cool. Every person, like the guy who jumped in front of a car or a train is the flat guy. And all the receptionists slit their wrists.
Yeah, I know. That's a cool little. I mean, like I said, that's what I like. That's what I want from this movie is the world building. I feel like you don't. Get
I
a
would
lot
love
of that.
to see the underworld build. I do have that in my notes. Like when they're walking through a hallway at one point, going to meet Juno, they open up like a door, and it's like a ghost going ooh, and you have the weird janitor going, "That's death for the dead."
Yeah. Okay. So here's.
So I like to see that, but I don't need to see a backstory on people. Like, just explain things a little bit because I like that world that they're building.
Well, me. I'm big on wanting to. I want a plot. I kind of care about that.
There's a plot.
It's
they
not
want
much
the people
of a plot.
out of the house, and then they realize they come to their senses that they don't need them out of their house. They can live with them.
But I feel like the plot. We talk about character driving plot. I feel like the plot just is there to like. Just serve for like Beetlejuice the mug. You know what I mean?
See, yeah.
Do I not like this movie? Here's the thing. I like this movie. I don't dislike it. I'd rate it on my personal scale. I'd rate it like a 6 to a 6.5 out of 10, which is not insulting in any way, shape, or form. That means it's a good movie that I don't.
Movie snob since we started this show.
Oh, I totally am. So here's the thing. I will say this: it's entirely possible. I'll give an example. If you watch, like, let's say you go back and watch an old Steve McQueen movie, right? And you've never seen a Steve McQueen movie, okay? Like, let's say you watch Magnificent Seven. If you're like a 19-year-old kid right now who's never seen it, who likes movies but has never seen that movie, you might watch it and go, "Oh, this is dumb. I've seen that's played out. Like I've seen this cowboy shit. These guys are acting." What you're not putting together is like they started it. You just didn't see it until after you saw all the people aping them. So it's entirely possible that every issue I have with this movie is that other shit I saw Tim Burton do later was him trying to recapture what he did with this. But I've seen all that stuff more recently, so now I'm looking back on this and going like, ugh, more Tim Burton. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I said, it's a lot of like, Helena, come down. The opposite end of the swizzle stick. We're having a barbecue.
But this
like,
is pre that Tim Burton.
I think that's always been Tim Burton.
I think this is what got him going.
Well, he did what he did something before this, didn't he? He did Pee-wee's Big Adventure. So he was that was fucking weird.
Yeah, but I mean, this is more that movie. When you think about Tim Burton movies, like I always make a joke when it's foggy on the golf course. I'm like, I'm in the Tim Burton movie. Like it's always very dark, comic-y style. When I see Pee-wee's Big Adventure, I think it's bright. It's in the daylight. It's dark, but it's not a quote unquote Tim Burton feely kind of movie, except for the Large Marge scene. That is, but. Yeah.
Oh, that's the most Tim Burton shit ever.
Yeah. But like the rest of the movie is not.
What Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
Yeah.
I'll give you that. I mean, there's still like a very like Danny Elfman-y score. Was it Danny Elfman?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, exactly. You think Danny Elfman scores Tim Burton's everyday life? You think he has him on retainer?
He just follows back behind him with his he's got an orchestra in his pocket.
Helena, Helena, I'm taking the dogs for a walk. But get this, they're walking on top of each other. Bum, 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 bum. And then fucking Danny Elfman's running around. That'd be awesome. He's got him on a fucking flatbed truck following him when he's driving to work. I bet you he drives in a giant boot.
Probably.
Like the Oscar Mayer hot dog mobile.
I love that. I saw that like a bunch of times. Driving
I've seen it on
randomly.
the road.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was really excited every time I see it. I've seen like legit famous people not giving a fuck. I almost crashed my car the first time I saw that fucking hot dog mobile.
Like that should be playing the Oscar Mayer song the entire time. Like the Ice Cream Man plays his little jingle. That should always play the song.
Remember that Christina Aguilera song, the first one, Genie in a Bottle? Yes. I like to, when I hear that, pretend it's about the Oscar Mayer hot dog car and sing Weenie with a Throttle. So yeah, Beetlejuice.
Weenie with the throttle.
Yeah, see? You're welcome. Yeah, I liked it, but I'm having trouble talking about it because so much. It's more like it's almost like a visual poem kind of movie. Like I don't feel like a ton happens. I don't really. There's a couple of like it's very like
it moves quick.
Yeah, it moves real quick enough. Yeah,
I like that because you don't have all that shitty exposition. You get to the fun. You get to I wish Beetlejuice was in it more because Michael Keaton plays an amazing character. He really does. Like when Michael Keaton goes crazy and he gets pissed off. Like I love that Michael Keaton.
I love Michael Keaton, but I'm not, like I said, I wasn't super into I was like probably the least into the Beetlejuice aspects of this movie.
See, one thing like I wish that when we had our rantcast about going back in time, I wish I could have experienced this movie knowing Michael Keaton from more of Gung Ho and Mr. Mom. See, this is where I remember first Michael Keaton, like my first experience with Michael Keaton is this.
My first Michael Keaton, that's like a...
Yes. Then I remember, the Mr. Mom, the Gung Ho, and the Batman. But this is the Michael Keaton I got to know first.
I like Gung Ho.
I love Gung Ho.
We should talk about that.
We do that? We do Mr. Mom? Mr. Mom's great.
Yeah, I'm like definitely more into the Alec Baldwin, Gina Davis part of this movie. She's great in it. I like her. She's cool. She does a great job. Even though they've dressed her like a 1910 Quaker.
Stop it.
She does a great job. She she's not given a ton to do. But she kind of sells like the heart of the movie. Like I don't buy Alec Baldwin the whole time.
See, I do.
She's like her relationship. Maybe it's like her character better because she likes, she gives a shit about the kid and stuff. Alec Baldwin's a little more like, babe, we gotta get these people out of here. And she's like, well, don't be a piece of shit, Alec Baldwin.
But
we're dead.
That's
they can
the
live in our
thing
house.
when they start off how she wanted a child.
Oh, I didn't put that together.
So like she wanted a child, so she can live in this house with them and consider Lydia her child.
I'll give you that. I feel like I would like this movie better if it was Gina Davis dressed in normal clothes, just kind of as a ghost raising Winona Ryder. Like I'd watch that. Like that movie that movie with just Cher.
Mermaids.
And Mermaids. Yeah, like if it was like Mermaids but with like ghost Gina Davis and Winona Ryder just hanging out. And maybe like Otho's like their wacky uncle, like Uncle Beano. You're welcome. Like I'd watch that. I would definitely watch that I'd watch that sitcom every week.
Well, the cartoon, like in this movie, Beetlejuice at the end for some reason is in love with Lydia and wants to marry her and tricks her into marrying him and the wedding and all this. But in the cartoon, she's friends with Beetlejuice and like she goes on adventures with him.
Oh, you mean because Tim Burton realized that it's weird having a movie featuring a child molester about a guy trying to marry a child bride?
Didn't think about that, but yes.
Yeah, that's real talk, baby. Real talk. So yeah, that guy gets no quarter.
It's amazing that Jeffrey Jones does play, like he doesn't play a villain in this, which is weird. He's actually like a pretty nice guy. He just wants to like calm down. He just wants to look at the birds. He wants the country life. And he's not really bad at all, as much as the mother.
Yeah, well, he's too busy getting. Well, it's his second wife.
Yeah,
but he's too busy getting cuckolded by fucking Otho.
Yep.
So yeah, it's like I said, I clearly, as we're talking, have mixed feelings about this movie.
Okay, so I got a question.
Okay,
so we keep it moving. So in the underworld, when you die, they have to spend 125 years in that house.
Okay.
Before they can move on. They briefly mention that. So they can't leave the house unless it's to go to the social center with the suicide prevention line. When they do jump out of the house, are they in another dimension or are they on Saturn with the sandworms?
Yeah, I don't.
Is that Saturn?
Really,
because they kind of mention it, right?
Is what, Saturn?
Do they mention that it's Saturn? I want to say like I heard that.
I don't think they say that at all.
No?
No.
Huh. Well, is it like another dimension? Are they interdimensional beings as ghosts?
I was guessing that it was some sort of limbo situation, like a hellish limbo scape. That when they try to escape the house, they're stuck in limbo and they might get eaten by the sandworms. But I don't even understand what happens if you get eaten by the sandworms.
Punches a sandworm or slaps its tongue and then later on rides the sandworm.
Yeah, I
would like them to go back, replay the movie where Gina Davis jumps on this sandworm and rides it through the house. I want to see that. I want to see that happen.
Yeah, again, like in that movie Mermaids, they would like Cher rides that sandworm. Yeah, exactly. They would ride the sandworm together. Uncle Otho would be their zany uncle. Alec Baldwin's nowhere to be seen.
I don't want to hear about your weird sitcom. I was just saying I want to see the scene where Gina Davis jumps on the sandworm.
And Catherine O'Hara plays their zany neighbor. Oh man, I'd watch that. That'd be a good show. You could have probably Beetlejuice. Hey, he's on the loose. I'd watch that show every week. Yeah, I don't really understand what the fuck's going on when they leave the house either. But and maybe that's my problem with the movie is I'm big on like making on nonsense making sense. So here's if they never would have explained shit, right? If there's no afterlife situation and they got like real vague, I'd forgive them. But they explain enough that you want them to kind of stick to their rules. So I don't really get how all of a sudden the sandworm fucking flies through the house. Like they don't explain any of that shit, or how like Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis start developing supernatural powers to make him to stretch his face like the nose. Well,
here's
from
the thing.
Freaked.
I have that in my notes, not my nose. It's not up in my nose. In my notes, it says they already know how to scare people without Juno, because before they do that, they don't realize they can't be seen. The father opens the door, and she's holding Alec Baldwin's head after cutting it off, and his body gets up. So they already knew how to do that stuff without Juno.
Is Juno like the scary guy in Real Monsters?
Huh?
Remember that cartoon, Real Monsters?
The movie?
No, there's the show with Ickis and the dude, the guy held his eyeballs.
No.
What? It was a cartoon. It was on Nickelodeon. Anyway, similar scenario.
No, I never watched that show.
Yeah, you suck. Go back to what you're saying. That's why we're not friends.
No, like they knew how to scare people before then. All of a sudden, like at the end, and she's like, "Well, what are you gonna do without Beetlejuice?" And he stretches his nose and has the eyeballs as a finger, and she looks like a giant duck or a giant sandworm with eyes and a tongue.
Yeah, well, this movie is weirdly gruesome. Have we mentioned that yet?
I don't think it's gruesome at all. It's comic booky.
It's pretty gruesome.
That's not gruesome. That's not that blood and stuff. That's not gruesome.
People's heads are getting chopped
That's
off.
not gruesome, though. It's not like the way they even do it. It's more like you could see that it's fake. Like it's not like it's Tim Burtonized gruesomeness.
I don't know, but
The original, the way the movie was supposed to be gruesome. The Beetlejuice originally was supposed to try to really like rape and like kill the Dietzes, but they toned it down, made it more comedic. But yeah, that would have been gruesome. Like the way that it is now, it's not gruesome at all. They don't even show I like how they don't show them dying. Oh, by the way, they would not die from falling off that bridge.
Yeah, I never got that
open.
either.
Do they not know how to swim? Like jump out the window. The windows were open.
It doesn't seem like a very deep lake, like a very deep river.
No. The
And
car
why
was
is that
floating.
And why does that dog never come back?
Fuck that dog. I bet you that
feel like
dog
that-
was Beetlejuice.
I feel like that dog that dog was clearly the dog of that lady that murdered them.
Yes.
You know, Gina Davis won an Academy Award the year before this movie came, like right after this movie came out.
For what?
The Accidental Tourist. I've never seen that movie ever.
Nope, never seen it either.
She won Best Supporting Actress. Good for her. She's a talented lady. She doesn't get a lot of work these days.
No, she's been on, I think the last thing I saw her on was Grey's Anatomy.
Was she really?
Yeah, lots of plastic surgery. Lots.
Yeah, these things
Lots
happen.
of plastic surgery.
You're
Not,
right, she was on-
not flattering plastic surgery.
Yeah, sure. She was on Grey's Anatomy for a while. I guess she retired. She was married to Rennie Harlan for a while.
I don't know who that is.
What? He directed Die Hard 2.
Okay.
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, she was married to Rennie Harlan, and now she's married to Dr. Reza Jarahi, but she's getting divorced.
Oh.
She's married 4 times. Whoa, that's not good.
Her attire.
Yeah,
It's because she's so
What
big.
that's not nice. What about like a League of Their Own Gina Davis?
Love that Gina Davis.
That is a lovely, understated, powerful Gina Davis. I don't know why I'm so obsessed with her outfit in this movie. It just
I
bothers
don't know why
me.
you're so obsessed with her.
Because it looks like a child. It looks like an adult wearing a child's clothes, and it bothers me. All right. I tried to tiptoe around it. Why I thought it was weird. I tried to be a little too edgy. Gina Davis, nothing wrong with her being tall. She's a gorgeous lady. I don't fucking get why she's an adult wearing a child's clothes though. And then Alec Baldwin's building all those models. There was some weird shit going on in that house already, dude. Long before Beetlejuice showed up.
Well, he's building
And why-
models. There's nothing wrong with building models. It's his hobby.
I don't know.
We have a hobby. We're doing it right now.
Yeah, but we're not. I guess, yeah, we're probably more weird. Anyway. Who almost played people? Do you know that? Is that something you wrote down?
Who almost played people?
Yeah, I like when you tell me these things.
Hmm.
What if Beetlejuice got into the machine from The Fly with Brundlefly? Oh man, Brundlefly's in this technically, actually, though. Now I think about it.
Who?
Brundlefly is in this movie.
Who's Brundlefly?
Yeah, from The Fly. He's the fly that Beetlejuice captures, who I thought he ate, and then they're hanging out later.
He does eat him.
Does he? I thought they were hanging out later.
He might be dead. The fly's dead. He ate him.
Oh, so now he's a ghost fly?
I guess.
So ghosts can eat. This movie's very confusing.
The ghost was even like going, help! Help! I mean, the fly was even like saying like, help!
That's...
Sammy Davis Jr. was one of the choices to play Beetlejuice.
I want to see that.
They had Angelica Houston to play Delia Dietz instead of Catherine O'Hara. I don't know why I keep calling her Kathleen.
Because you want to say Kathleen Turner.
She's just as talented, yes.
Yes, I love me some Kathleen Turner. When the going gets tough. Remember that? From Romancing the Stone? That's a good movie.
Yeah, love that movie. Oh, the roles of Lydia. They approached Lori Loughlin, Diane Lane, Sarah Jessica Parker, Brooke Shields, Justine Bateman, Molly Ringwald, and Jennifer Connelly.
So you're telling me Lori Loughlin of Full House fame could have had Winona Ryder's career?
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. She is. Talk about someone who looks great. She's like 50-something. That woman looks like she's 20.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for her. Well, her and John Stamos drank from the right grail, because those two are never getting old.
They did not choose poorly.
Homeboy's like 9 million. John Stamos is legit like almost 60. That dude looks younger than me.
Yeah.
He's got lush hair. Oof, what a handsome man. Shocking.
Juliette Lewis auditioned for the role, but it went to Winona Ryder.
I'm not a big Juliette Lewis guy.
I do not like her.
I find her acting style unsettling.
I don't think Molly Ringwald could ever play that role. She's too colorful.
Yes.
Jennifer Connelly could.
I don't think so. I think Jennifer Connelly, a 19, 20-year-old Jennifer Connelly, a little too how can I put this? Little too easy to sexualize. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Target. Run around the Target.
Yeah, whatever. Not Where the Heart Is. Same movie.
No. Come on, say it, Forney.
It's where the heart is. Shut the fuck up, Forney. Damn it.
What is that? Something delivery? Overnight Delivery?
Overnight Delivery is the movie with Paul Rudd and Reese Witherspoon, which is actually a really solid movie.
Oh,
which is basically Kevin Smith helped write that, and they stole the plot of that for Road Trip, basically.
Sarah Jessica Parker, definitely not.
I just don't like Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yeah. No, I think they got it perfect with Winona Ryder.
Yeah. Diane Lane, same thing. She's too adult, attractive looking. Brooke Shields as a damn model. Justine Bateman just wouldn't have worked. Yeah, they definitely got it right.
Out of all of them, Justine Bateman could have done it. It wouldn't have been a good role, but I could see her in it.
What's that? She was in that movie one time with Michael J. Fox where they're in a family band or something. Am I making that up?
What?
I just remember there being a movie with Michael J. Fox and Justine Bateman, where they're like brother and
sister.
She was
in Family Ties with him as his sister.
No, but there's also a movie with Justine Bateman where I'm not making this up. This is a real thing that happened. Hold on.
Satisfaction?
That sounds like it could be it.
Group of teenagers have a band. That's the only thing I know of her with. I don't know if Michael J. Fox did. I'll have to look that up.
I'm looking it up right now while we talk. Satisfaction. Yeah.
Trini Alvarado from Frighteners was in it.
What the hell? Really?
Yeah, she played Mooch.
Huh.
I don't know who Mooch. I vaguely remember the movie. I know I've seen it. Vaguely.
I guess Michael J. Fox is not in this movie.
No, but Scott Coffey
looks a lot like him. Yes,
and it's very, very similar. Doesn't look like him, but I could see where you think.
I just remember her stealing tools. I remember that. That's the only thing I remember about the whole movie.
Yeah.
So at one point she steals tools. Julia Roberts in it. What are we even doing? What are we even doing at this point? Why are we? We're just IMDbing on the air. That's sorry.
Okay, another. Who was it? Nope, that was it. That's all I have on who shoulda, coulda, woulda.
They had Kirstie Alley almost played Barbara, whoever the hell Barbara is.
It's Gina Davis.
Oh, was it? That's how much I paid attention to the movie. And then they wanted Sigourney Weaver, Goldie Hawn, Laura Dern, and Linda Hamilton were all considered. Again, Gina Davis, I think she's a fucking really
kind of
talented
funny.
lady.
Laura Dern played opposite Gina Davis's ex-husband Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park.
True. Oh man, that is a sexy Jeff Goldblum with the open chest and the Jeff Goldblum lean.
Yeah.
I'm Ian Malcolm. Apparently, Tim Burton considered Arnold Schwarzenegger to play Beetlejuice at one point.
Oh God. Oh man, can you imagine that?
I would have been so happy. I'm here to scare you.
My name is Beetlejuice.
Get out of my house. It's me, Beetlejuice. No.
Get to the model. Get to the model.
No, Glenn Shaddix, you have to lift weights. It's not good for you.
You're too fat.
This is not good for you. Oh man, that'd be awesome. Our impressions are terrible. They thought about casting Heather Langenkamp as Lydia at one point, but she didn't want to do it. That's the chick from Nightmare on Elm Street.
No, I know who she is.
Yeah, she's a good actress. Again, she's a good actress who didn't. I feel like she should have had a lot more going on. They thought about Dudley Moore at one point for Beetlejuice.
Oh my God.
Oh, that would have been amazing.
Dudley Moore?
Yeah,
he'd be drunk.
I know, it'd be fucking ridiculous. It'd be like vomiting on the floor. Like That was his. That was like from The Critic. Every time they showed Dudley Moore, he's always drunk and throwing up.
Well, that was his whole when he did that one movie where he plays the rich guy.
Arthur.
Arthur.
And Arthur on the Rocks, the sequel. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't have a ton. Bill Pullman was almost Alec Baldwin's part.
That I could have seen.
Yeah, Bill Pullman's awesome. I just like Bill Pullman. I just want Bill Pullman to be in things. Alec Baldwin, like I said, didn't like his own role in this movie, so which I agree with. I don't think he does much. He could have not been there. Would have been fine. It almost would have been I'm going to say it probably would have been a better movie if you flip it a little bit. Because Gina Davis at that point's the bigger star. Alec Baldwin wasn't really much of anything yet.
He was not, no.
I think it would have been probably a better movie. You make Alec Baldwin, they both die. You stick Alec Baldwin off screen for most of the movie, and he's stuck in some sort of ghost jail or some shit. And Gina Davis is trying to solve it on her own, because the whole the dynamic doesn't work as well for Beetlejuice to be threatening when he's got Alec Baldwin against him. I don't know why. Like, it would have been cool if Gina Davis could stand up for herself and do her lady shit, you know? Like, this would have probably served better, because that's eventually on a lot of levels that's what it is. It would have served itself better to be a straight up female empowerment kind of movie, you know?
I think it kind of is.
Well, no, it is, but that's what I'm saying. It just get rid of Alec Baldwin, let Gina Davis just fucking kick Beetlejuice in the dick at the end of the movie and win, you know? That would have been cool. Anyway, I have one hipster rant per every 7 episodes where I say something that's not accidentally misogynistic. That was it. So now that we're done with that, something about boobs. Anyway, the legs that Beetlejuice groped were Tim Burton's girlfriends.
Were they?
Yeah, I think it was the tall girl from Mars Attacks.
Okay, yeah.
With the big eyes. Who again Michael J. Fox tries to make sex with. That's a movie no one talks about though. Mars Attacks. I actually like that movie.
I liked it too.
That was
Never
a cool
gets
little flick.
played ever.
No, no one gives a shit about it. I guess Lucas Haas isn't a believable. You know what? But the what's her face Juno is in that movie. She plays the grandma. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, Tim Burton uses lots of the same people.
Yeah, and again, I think Johnny Depp plays one of the Martians, the one with all the jewelry and the impossibly big hat and the eye makeup. Yeah, I don't. I love you. Yeah, I don't know. This movie, it's put it this way. I watched this in 2 chunks. An hour in, I paused it the first time to go take care of something, and I was like, "Oh man, that movie's so much better than I remember it being." And then the last half hour kind of loses me, because that's when it gets into a lot of the Beetlejuice stuff, and it just I don't know. The Deo scene's kind of cool, but doesn't make any fucking sense at all.
It's great, that scene, but because of that scene, anytime I hear this movie, that song, I only think of this movie. I don't think of it as a song, like a standalone song. Yeah,
it's true. And again, there's the weird Calypso thing at the end. I'll tell you, the wire work at the end looks terrible.
Yeah, that was pretty crappy.
There is nothing about that makes me think Winona Ryder is actually levitating. This was a big year for her. This was 88. She did this. This and Heathers came out in the same year.
Yep.
Multiple movies where she tries to kill herself and got famous for it. That's weird.
Now she just shoplifts and does stranger things.
Yeah, hey, fuck it. She's getting work. I'll tell you this. Apparently, Michael Keaton based his whole performance on Chop Top from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Is that what he based it on?
Yeah, and I guess they told him some stuff. They gave him some notes, that he was someone who had lived in all times but no times or some shit like that. And he was I guess they kind of implied to him that that he had killed himself from a heartbreak, which is why he's so into Winona Ryder, I guess. He kind of ad-libbed a lot of it and did his own thing. I think he chose his own outfit for the most part. He did a lot of his own shit, his makeup and stuff. He just kind of showed up on set deciding he was going to be Beetlejuice. He does like I said, he does a good job, but I just don't love it. I just really don't like the Beetlejuice stuff. I know it sounds dumb.
Really?
In the movie about Beetlejuice.
I think it's more of it was needed.
So you want to, they almost had a lot more of it. They almost had a sequel, right?
Yeah, they're still in thinking about the sequel. It still may happen.
Beetlejuice goes to camp or some shit. What is it?
What they thought of in I think 1990, Tim Burton wanted one was Beetlejuice goes to Hawaii.
That'd be fucking super weird.
Yeah, he just liked the idea of him in the backdrop, I guess, with women in bikinis, since he was a hornball.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I wish I could see. If I could shut off my knowledge of other Tim Burton movies, I'd probably like the last half hour of this movie a lot more when it gets super fucking weird. But like I've seen too many Tim Burton movies, so in my mind, it's even though it started it all, it's kind of played out. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I mean, I love it. I won't knock this. This is one of my faves.
That's good. That's all. And I it's one of those things. I understand why you liked it. I liked it.
To me,
it's
it
just
holds up.
I don't love it.
I don't think this movie doesn't hold up. I think
No, it does. That's the pro. I don't think there's much to hold up. Like it just nothing happens.
Sure, things happened. It was just they wanted to get rid of Beetle. They opened a can of worms and they had to close that can of worms.
I get maybe it's because he fucking shows up. So he's not.
And they realized that one thing. So at the end, the house they converted back to the way it was.
Yes.
So I feel like that wouldn't have happened with as much work they did to that house. It wouldn't go back to the way it was.
Well, I think we're to believe that they're now all living harmoniously.
Oh, they are. Yeah.
So they probably, I guess the lesson they learn off screen, because this movie doesn't explain anything, is to live a simpler life. And she's still making her sculptures, but she's kind of living a simpler life. I'm imagining they murdered Otho because Jeffrey Jones got tired.
He went to go live in a weird society that wipes their butts with 3 she-cells.
Exactly. The benevolent Dr. Cocteau.
I would like to say that if you want to talk about movie connections and stuff, it's not really a connection, just how we like to do our theories on who people are. So Beetlejuice died originally. He died on Christmas Eve with his Jack Frost band, became Jack Frost. Then he couldn't go back to see his son, got pissed off, became Beetlejuice, and is now stuck doing that stuff.
I don't hate that idea. I could see it. And he probably after not being able to get back to his son, probably became the monster Jack Frost from that movie where the girl gets murdered by the snowman in the bathtub.
Oh yeah. I only remember that one from the cover in the movie store.
Oh yeah, it was a hologram.
Yeah,
it was pretty sweet. And then that's how became Beetlejuice. I could see that. I could definitely see that. And then Glenn Shaddix went on to live in Demolition Man world. Jeffrey Jones is a terrible garbage person, and Catherine O'Hara is super talented, and Gina Davis should get more work. I don't know. I don't like Alec Baldwin that much. I'm sorry.
How do you not like Alec Baldwin?
I like Alec Baldwin in 30 Rock. I like Alec Baldwin in Mission Impossible. I don't like Alec Baldwin thinking he has so many fucking opinions that he has to constantly bash me over the face with them no matter what he does.
That is every single actor today.
Yeah, I don't like people.
I can't stand it either. But I don't like Robert De Niro. I love Robert De Niro. I don't even mind the things he's talking about. I actually agree with him. I just don't want to hear them.
Yeah, exactly. I don't disagree with these people.
I like them as actors. Play different roles.
I don't agree or disagree. They should all be Chris Pratt. You know what Chris Pratt does? Goes and sees little kids in hospitals, and he's a nice person, and he acts, shuts the fuck up.
Yep, The Rock. Everyone should be The Rock.
Yeah, doesn't have opinions. You know why? Because who gives a shit right now? That's how I look at it. But, whatever. Anyhow, but Beetlejuice. Richard Tyson. Who's your Richard Tyson for this one? Have you found him?
Yes, I found him, you douchebag. He is Carmen Filippi.
Who?
Filippi. Carmen Filippi.
Okay. Explain who that is.
He is the flat messenger guy.
Oh, what's he in?
He usually plays, he's in a lot of TV roles, and he's always playing credited as the old guy or the crotchety old guy.
I think I know what you're talking about now.
He played the old guy in The Wedding Singer who punches what's her name's fiance. He's like, I guess I'm not as young as I used to be, or whatever. And he's and
yeah.
He also played Old Man Withers in Wayne's World.
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking
about. So he's very known as like playing the old guy in movies and TV shows.
Well, I think you know who my answer is going to be.
Glenn Shaddix.
It's Glenn Shaddix. Get damn right, it's Glenn Shaddix. The man looks like he belongs in a B-52s video all the time. He's awesome.
Glenn Shaddix, baby. Glenn Shaddix. Glenn Shaddix. Yeah. Oh, so baby.
You're wearing a flat top and a suit. You're helping Dr. Cocteau to boot. Yeah, I would definitely fucking... Glenn Shaddix is awesome. I don't even know what he's in other than this and Demolition Man. I don't need to know. He's Glenn Shaddix. Have you picked a Pamela Reed also?
Yes, I'm very excited about my Pamela Reed.
Who's your Pamela Reed?
Patrice Martinez. She plays
which person is
the
that?
receptionist. When they first who cut their wrist.
Miss Argentina?
She was also in The Three Amigos.
Was she really?
Yes.
The movie that I don't like that much that we always fight about?
Yes. She was in The Three Amigos. She played the main woman in it, the main Spanish woman. And she was on a TV show I completely forgot about.
Was it Johnny
the early
Bago?
90s. No.
No?
It was Zorro, the TV show. Do you know who played Zorro in that TV show with her? Who she was a co-star in it.
I'm going to arbitrarily guess that it was Antonio Sabato Jr., even though it wasn't.
It was Duncan Rhaegar from the Monster
Was it really?
Squad. Yes. I completely forgot about this show. Even when we did Monster Squad, I didn't really look up what he was in for some reason. But I remember watching this show, and he played Zorro. I watched the intro to it just this morning, and it was amazing.
Was it part of like the Action Pack?
I don't know.
Or one of those things? Or like Crime Time After Prime Time or any of those things?
I don't know. I don't remember the show it was on. The channel it was on. I remember watching this. I didn't watch it like religiously, but I remember this show. I remember the opening, and I just it's amazing when I found out that she was in it. And yeah. She
See,
was my Pamela Reed.
That's why we do that show, for random ass trains of thought like that. That makes me happy. I'm glad you made that connection. Mine's a lot more simple though, man. And I know it shouldn't even count because she's like legitimately probably famous, but I'm gonna say Catherine O'Hara. She doesn't get a fucking credit.
Yeah.
She's never above the title on a poster. You know, she's always like almost last billed on the poster. But she's been in all those fucking Christopher Cross movies. She was in Home Alone. She's been in so much stuff, and she's always just so fucking talented.
She's also a very accomplished comedic actor. She was in ScTV.
Yeah, she's a legend.
Yeah.
She's amazing. Like I'm like all those like Best in Show and stuff. I don't like those, but I always like her in those.
Oh, she's great. Whatever she's in, she does not.
Yeah, she does not. She's just
let you down.
She's just a dominant force.
Yeah.
Before we go though, sorry,
this just got serious. Whoa.
Yeah.
Is this like The More You Know?
No, I would like to point out that since you're talking about early '90s shows, how many episodes of Silk Stockings did you watch expecting there to be boobs? Because I'm going to say
every opening,
all of them.
I always watch the opening. It's like gotta be.
Ah,
And then like yes,
that
yes.
When a sexy sex.
Then I realized it was on USA and there was no boobs.
Remember that when USA used to constantly play B-movie sex comedies and then cut out the part you wanted to see?
Yep.
Ridiculous. Fuck the 90s. Gross.
Love the 90s.
Whatever.
90s, early 90s television shows were the shit. That was TV. You had cartoons that actually were entertaining, not this crap now that they give to kids.
Ron, you're becoming a BuzzFeed article right now.
I don't like
Are you... Did I just cut too deep?
Yeah.
After 20 years of friendship, did I just cut too deep?
You might
Sorry.
have.
I called you BuzzFeed.
Isn't it more than 22? More than 20? It's like 22,
It's almost
23?
It's almost 20. It's almost 25.
25
I think at this point.
years? Wow.
Yeah, we've been friends since we were 11 or 12.
6th grade, whatever the hell that was. 94,
Yeah,
95?
Yeah, either way.
Yeah.
I'm about to be 30. We're turning 36 soon, so.
I just turned 35.
Well, I turn 36 soon. That's all I know.
Yeah, you got till April.
Yeah, I am 6 months away.
Yep.
From 36, which is halfway to 72, which is long past halfway to dead. Anyhow, that concludes ScOctober.
ScOctober.
Scary October. Halloween
but
face.
Fear not, because December comes Christmas-tober.
Christmas. That's definitely what we're calling it. There is zero chance we're calling it anything other than Christmas-tober from now on. ScOctober may change, but every December on this show, which we're going to do till we die.
Yeah.
Fuck you people if you don't want to hear it.
Christmas-tober.
Will be Christmas-tober.
So we got November. We got a good show next month in 2 weeks for you in November.
Yep. We're gonna keep on.
Then December we will do some Christmas movies.
Yeah, we're gonna keep on rocking. So Find us on Facebook, find us on Twitter, find us on iTunes, find us on Stitcher, on iHeartRadio, on Libsyn, on One Radio Free Republic, whatever the hell Ronnie put us on. And it's just keep on finding us, reach out, send us emails.
Wherever you
look
do
for
your
us,
potting,
download us. Wherever you do your
we will
potting,
be there.
Find us and rate us, please. We love you.
Thank you so much. And, yep, that's it.
And please join me at the opposite end of the swizzle stick. Bye, folks.
Untitled,